This morning near the intersection near East 34th Street and Portland Avenue, we have team coverage of reaction from elected and national leaders and what comes next in the investigation as the debate over use of force ignites. The news at 6 starts right now.
And we do have a lot to get to. We want to start with the forecast and some fog and maybe icing that's causing some problems out there, Ken.
Yeah, Megan, Chris, hi, everybody. Yeah, slick spots this morning, not unlike it was yesterday. There are refreezing spots that have gone on all night long from the melt we had yesterday. It was 42 yesterday. Whatever was wet in the Twin Cities now has some ice on it because it's 29 to 30 degrees. We've been bouncing back and forth between the two. Fog from the Twin Cities north and east. Very dense fog in western Wisconsin and central and northern Minnesota right now, particularly the northeast part of the state. That fog will slowly give way to just cloudy skies and rain showers this afternoon. As we get into the 30s again, we'll talk more about a close call for the weekend, though, coming up.
Okay, sounds good, Ken. Do want to take a quick peek at the drive out there this morning. We mentioned temps there at 29 degrees. We could be seeing some icing because we have a handful of crashes here at 6:01 to report on this morning. This is Highway 65, Central Avenue near Ham Lake. State Patrol reporting a crash near Crosstown Boulevard Northeast. An earlier crash south of here in Fridley has cleared at this point. There is also an accident in Chaska. We're monitoring one. North of Fridley, we're seeing some. 3 of them in the metro area. So keep that in mind as you head out the door this morning. Big picture, you can see a couple of little areas where things are slow going. Most of the maps are showing green, which means highway speeds. But again, traffic flow is light right now, so you may want to take it a little slower.
6:02 in breaking news. New protests are planned for today and this morning. Dozens of people are gathered near the scene where an Immigrations and Custom Enforcement agent shot and killed a woman yesterday in South Minneapolis.
Overnight, people held a vigil near 34th and Portland to remember 37-year-old Renee Good and to protest ICE and demand justice. Video showing the moments an ICE agent fires into Renee Good's vehicle as it then veers off the road and hits parked cars have spread across the nation. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has given the order to prepare the state's National Guard, saying that the state doesn't need any further help from the federal government. Right now, the Guard is on standby. Both the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension and the FBI are investigating the shooting.
We have team coverage for you this morning. Kelsey Christensen live at the Federal Building with new reaction overnight from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. Matt Belanger breaking down the debate over when law enforcement is justified in using lethal force against someone in a moving vehicle.
First, though, our Bailey Hurley and the new protest planned for today, as well as a reaction from folks in the community this morning. Bailey.
Megan, Chris, the demands are really loud and clear from these protesters as we reach near the 24-hour mark of this deadly shooting happening here on 34th and Portland yesterday. One of those things, of course, is accountability and answers from ICE. That's one of the things that these protesters are demanding. They also, though, are echoing the pleas from Mayor Jacob Frey that he was putting out yesterday. He says, and these protesters are echoing that, they want ICE agents to get out of town. We know several demonstrations are planned in and around Minneapolis today, emphasizing all of those demands. One of those happening at the Federal Building in Fort Snelling about 7 o'clock this morning. Another protest planned for this evening at 5:30 on Lake in Chicago. 2 news conferences that we know of so far from community, faith, elected leaders, as well as civil rights advocates, all happening this afternoon as well. Leaders expected to lay out plans for a, quote, major mobilization this weekend. Meanwhile, civil rights advocates are urging transparency from ICE. They want that ICE agent to be identified. They want him fired or released from his duties with ICE. They also want all video released of the incident yesterday. At the center of all of these demonstrations and this work, of course, is 37-year-old Renee Good. She's a mother of 3 who had recently moved here to Minneapolis from Kansas City. Her loved ones describing her as a devoted Christian who is not part of any activist movements. Her mother telling a local reporter yesterday that she was, quote, one of the kindest people I've ever known.
What I want to remember, and all of us to remember with this woman's sacrifice, is that we will not be silent.
We don't know who she is, but we are here to let the world know this is not acceptable. You must stop right now.
Now, you may have seen some of the images from Chopper 5 last night just showing how large of a gathering was here at the scene yesterday afternoon into last night. That is not the case anymore. You can see a small gathering just over my shoulder here. There's about 15 to 20 people here gathered around a campfire. Just down the block a bit is where that growing vigil continues to grow. Really, that's at the scene of where Renee Good's car ended up after she was shot by those ICE officers. So far, I mentioned this the last half hour, we have not seen any either federal or local law enforcement at all in this area. We'll keep checking back in to see if that's something that changes, as of course, not only are those protests that we talked about that are already planned going to happen, but many more could pop up as the morning and the day goes on here. Chris and Megan.
All right, Bailey Hurley live for us this morning in Minneapolis. ABC News is hearing from an eyewitness who saw the shooting and the crash in Minneapolis. Look.
When I got to the window, I saw the sort of maroon Honda parked perpendicularly in the street, and a good number of ICE vehicles, or presumably ICE vehicles, unmarked, black and white SUVs and trucks, parked at all sorts of angles down the middle of the street, effectively blocking traffic.
Now, we know that Good Morning America has a live reporter. We'll have one from Minneapolis coming up right here at 7 o'clock on 5 Eyewitness News.
Across the country, protests are happening. Last night, people gathered at Foley Square in New York calling for changes to immigration enforcement. People also took to the streets in Portland, Seattle, and Chicago, demanding accountability. More demonstrations are anticipated in the days ahead as the investigation continues.
And Kelsey Christensen does continue our team coverage this morning. She's live from the Whipple Federal Building, which is near the airport, where a protest is planned for 7 o'clock this morning.
So, Kelsey, you have new reaction from overnight from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey.
Yeah, that's right. And we are just outside of that federal building here this morning. That protest plan in about an hour. I've been keeping a close eye on the federal building just behind me. I haven't seen any protesters yet, but again, expecting them at 7 o'clock this morning. As for Mayor Jacob Frey, he appeared on CNN last night, echoing his call for ICE to get out of Minneapolis. He says ICE is behaving recklessly, adding the use of deadly force was not justified. He says he and MPD Chief Brian O'Hara have been concerned for about a month that something like this would happen. Frey says MPD has been working hard to bring crime down here in Minneapolis, and that ICE is bringing violence instead to the city. Listen.
They are not abiding by constitutional law. They certainly are not de-escalating tense situations, because I don't know if what we saw by these federal agents in this most recent instance is de-escalation. I guess I don't even understand the definition of the word.
Now, on the other hand here, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is saying the ICE agent acted in self-defense. She says the driver, quote, weaponized her vehicle, and that agent was injured in that incident. Noem adding the agent who fired those deadly shots yesterday was dragged by a vehicle and injured during an enforcement operation back in June, saying there's a growing trend.
This domestic act of terrorism, to use your vehicle to try to kill law enforcement officers, is going to stop. And I'm asking the Department of Justice to prosecute it as domestic terrorism.
Again, the investigation is underway here this morning by the FBI and the BCA here locally in the state. More details are expected to come out within the coming hours and days here. But again, a protest plan just outside the federal building at Fort Snelling in about an hour. We're going to be here all morning, and the reason that they're at the federal building is because ICE primarily operates out of this building here in the Twin Cities. We'll be here all morning. Check back in about a half hour. Chris, Megan.
Kelsey, we will see you then. Thank you. We know that from Minnesota to Washington, leaders are reacting. Right now, this is a live look at D.C. President Donald Trump, Senator U.S. Amy Klobuchar, both weighing in. Klobuchar posted a statement on X, reading in part, "We need full transparency and an investigation of what happened. And I am deeply concerned that statements made by DHS do not appear to reflect video evidence and on-the-ground accounts." Meanwhile, overnight, President Donald Trump shared on social media a late-night video from Fox News with the headline, "When a vehicle is coming at you and is being used as a weapon, deadly force is justified." This after he said earlier Wednesday, The woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense.
The president weighing in on the debate that's been reignited over when law enforcement is justified in using lethal force against someone in a moving vehicle.
Now, while there are sharp divisions between federal and local authorities when it comes to interpretations of what happened, we do know the rules guiding agents' actions. And Matt Belanger is here with a debate over what happened in this case and, Matt, what we know about other shootings involving ICE earlier this year.
Christian, Megan, no doubt a central part of the joint federal and state investigation that's happening now is going to focus on the vehicle in this case, frame-by-frame analysis of the videos that exist showing how the incident unfolded, ultimately trying to get to that determination whether the agent's use of deadly force was justified. Nationwide, we know this marks the 9th shooting by immigration officers across the country since September. Immigration officers firing on at least 9 people across 5 states and Washington, D.C. And officials say all of the shootings happened while people were in vehicles. It's a key question here. Here's what we know about Homeland Security's policy regarding these types of situations. It says agents are authorized to use deadly force only if they have a reasonable belief that there's an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. But agents are also expected to avoid putting themselves in those kinds of situations, if at all possible. Now, here's Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara, who was on CNN last night, talking about how the city's police officers, he says, are trained differently. Listen.
And the way that training has been going for many, many years. And certainly in the last 5 years, especially in this city, which did burn 5 years ago, police officers have been trained with a very, very strong emphasis on de-escalation.
And in the past year, we've reported how federal agents have been carrying out enforcement operations and sweeps in cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, New Orleans, and Portland. And there have been protests with demonstrators at times throwing things and officers using non-lethal rounds on the crowds. The FBI leading this investigation at the federal level, working jointly with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension on the state level. Hennepin County Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty saying her office has jurisdiction over this case, but certainly at this early stage has not made any charging decisions. We'll track it all, Chris.
Thank you, Matt. Trust us to stay on top of this shooting in the hours, days, weeks ahead. You can get updates here on air and anytime on our digital platforms.
Our time is 6:13. It is Thursday morning. It's foggy out there in spots, but notice the Minneapolis right now, not a lot of fog. It's mainly north suburbs and beyond that the fog is very dense. Also western Wisconsin, 29 degrees with fog and refreeze this morning. Slick spots are out there. Be careful. And then later on, it'll be about freezing. We'll see some rain, maybe mixed with some snow. I am not expecting any accumulation. A close call, though, with a weekend storm coming up.
Okay, Ken, well, it's 6:13 and still ahead this morning. The new Klondike Kate has been crowned. She's going to join us here in the studio with Matt Belanger to talk all about it.
First, though, a live look outside. You're waking up here with 5 Eyewitness News.
When you see news happen, submit it at kstp.com. Precision, accuracy, timing.
It's what you get with Forecast First Alerts.
Dynamic long-range forecasting that keeps you ahead of what's coming next. Get Forecast First Alerts only from Minnesota's Weather Authority.
The New Year sale at Slumberland, up to 50% off list. Get your choice of these best-selling Lazy Boy recliners for just $5.55. Get a Sealy mattress for just $2.99. Pay no interest for 36 months with approved credit. Only at Slumberland.
Look around, and you'll see that it's true. Our community is pretty special. And when neighbors help each other, when local businesses grow and families thrive, you can feel it. At Truestone Financial Credit Union, we know that great banking is about more than money. It's about connecting the possibilities and imagination of our neighbors with the people and resources to help them dream a little bigger and live a little better. In this beautiful community we call home. It's true, because we're Truestone.
Trust your local Culligan Water experts to deliver more bottled water, softener salt, and custom filtration solutions that reduce local contaminants. We reliably bring Minnesota families and businesses the water you love. Culligan of Minnesota.
It's Hy-Vee's one-day sale, Friday, January 9th. Hy-Vee eggs, just 99 cents. Pork chops, 77 cents. Russet potatoes, just $1.48. Campbell's Chunky Soup, just $1.48 each when you buy 3. Hy-Vee macaroni and cheese, 39 cents. Plus, you'll find even more great deals across the store. Save in-store and online. One day only, Friday, January 9th, only at Hy-Vee.
So what do you think about these?
We like this.
Yeah, we love it.
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
We're going to take everything down to the
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs.
Honey, you were right. Turned out amazing.
Of course it did.
Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call or visit our showroom for your free design consultation.
If you had your camper, your 2 cars out of your garage, and the hailstorm came, 81% of the population would have 4 deductibles. With the Canopy Group and our common loss deductible, because there was only one peril, one occurrence, you only have 1 deductible.
Sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance.
The New Year mattress sale at Slumberland. Up to 50% off list. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $2.99 or a Sealy Posturepedic for $5.99. Get 60-month financing on Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster. Save big, only at Slumberland.
Good morning, it's 6:16. You're watching 5 Eyewitness News. We appreciate it. Obviously, you have a lot going on in the news this morning. I think it must be cold enough that the roads must be a little slippery from what I can tell.
Yeah, just barely below freezing, but that's all it takes. Yeah, the refreeze from yesterday's melt and also the fog this morning in contact with that pavement, creating some slick spots out there. Not a big ice rink or anything, but yeah, slick spots are likely this morning, so let up on the speed a little bit. We have a dense fog advisory up until 9 o'clock. This is mostly from the Twin Cities north, especially north and east where the fog is very dense right now. This is in effect until 9 o'clock. After that, the fog will get lighter. But right now, visibility when it's perfect is 10 miles. That's how we look at it from the airport, an airport's point of view. When it's 7, it means there's something in the air. That's a little bit of haze at MSP, but you go north and see everything below 1 mile here. That's a quarter mile at Hinckley, half a mile at St. Cloud. East and north of there, same thing. That's the really dense fog. Notice it is fog-free across southern Minnesota, but in the Twin Cities, there's patchy areas where it is dense, but the most dense fog is north of 94 and also in eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin this morning. 29, so yeah, the fog in contact with the ground may create slick spots, but most likely because of some refreeze from last night, ramps and bridges have some ice on them as well, so be careful. 25 at Hinckley, likely slick roads north and east especially, but even around the metro, I am seeing a few slick spots. So isolated 6 spots this morning. For the kids out the door and you on the way to work, it'll be close to 30. We have to remember, normally at this time of year, it's down to 10 in the Twin Cities and 0 up north, and it's simply way warmer than that. 36 with rain showers this afternoon possible. May mix a little bit tonight. We have 2 weather makers, 2 small weather makers the way it looks right now. The next one is this afternoon. Rain showers after 2 or 3. May mix with a little snow, but I am not anticipating accumulations tonight. A very close call Friday night and Saturday morning. Right now, it looks like light accumulations. What does that mean? It means less than a half an inch in the Twin Cities, maybe an inch toward Rochester. It's not looking like a big storm. It still looks that way. And later today, again, that pink indicates a little mix. I think it's going to be mostly rain here with a few snowflakes toward the end of it by 9 o'clock, and then it goes on. I'm not expecting any issues tonight with icing, and this is why. It's 29 to 30 now. This is the temperature on the top. This is the time. During the commute this afternoon, it'll be above freezing. Not expecting icy roads. All evening long during whatever rain comes, it's going to stay at 34, 35. Therefore, just wet roads. So maybe in the morning some refreeze, but as of right now, the evening commute should be just plain rain. 32 tomorrow. Sunshine's back. Snow in the morning. possible again, an inch or less. The farther you go north and west of the Twin Cities, the better chance of getting no snow, actually. St. Cloud, you won't see a flake. In the Twin Cities, we'll be lucky to see a coating, maybe a half inch. That's it. Chris will watch it closely, but right now, both of these are near misses.
Okay, thank you, Ken. We are seeing some spin-outs here in the Twin Cities, as we mentioned here, and just north of the Twin Cities. This is between East Bethel and Ham Lake. This is on Highway 65. This is what's left of a spin-out. At one point, if you see the tire tracks, there are a couple cars off into the median. Again, we are seeing this scene kind of playing out in different spots around the area this morning, so definitely a heads up. You are going to encounter some what appear to be sort of sporadic slick spots out there. This is a quick look at the map, and you can also see we're tracking a slowdown down in the southwest suburbs in the Chaska area. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Tommy Mello here from A1 Garage Door Service. The MyQ Smart Garage Door System allows you to control and monitor your garage from anywhere in the world. Call A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
Start your new year off right and save big money right now at Menards. Good maintenance equals longer vehicle life, and Menards carries automotive products from trusted brands to help keep your vehicle on the road. Quaker State Full Synthetic Motor Oil is engineered to give more power, more wear protection, and longer engine life. Get a 5-quart jug for $16.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards. Outside or inside? Just can't decide? Head to Elk River. Plants and Things and Furniture and Things are together in one location. Shop our 16-acre campus for everything you need for outside and inside your home. Highway 10 and Jarvis, together in Elk River.
A client that I will never forget is Elias. He was a young man that was hit head-on by a drunk driver and lost his vision. He had every reason to be mad at the world. But in representing him, just seeing how positive he was and how determined he was to move on with his life is something I will never forget. As I go through my life and I face any type of challenges, I think of Elias and his positivity. For a higher level of representation, call 612-TSR-TIME.
Hi, I'm Tommy Mello here from A1 Garage Door Service. Replacing the bottom rubbers of your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today.
If you see news happen, report it at KSTP.com.
Dupixent continuously works to help prevent asthma attacks, so girls' days are better. Game days are better. Even Mondays are better. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It's not for sudden breathing problems. Some people felt their asthma symptoms improve in as little as 3 days. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark-colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Do more with less asthma. Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma. Also approved as an add-on treatment for adults with COPD that is not well controlled and with a specific marker of inflammation.
In this morning's GMA First Look, fallout over that Nick Reiner legal twist, accused of brutally killing his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. His high-profile defense attorney, Alan Jackson, withdrawing from the case.
We feel that we have no choice at this juncture but to withdraw as counsel and ask to be relieved.
Without elaborating, Jackson said he had to withdraw because of conditions outside of his or Nick Reiner's control.
Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder.
Charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, Nick Reiner was expected to enter a plea Wednesday. Shielded from cameras, he wore a brown jail jumpsuit and only spoke when agreeing to delay his arraignment again. He's now been assigned to a team of public defenders. And coming up at 7 a.m., legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Good morning at 6:24. There is a new Klondike cake this morning.
There is. The St. Paul Winter Carnival has a new mistress of song and merriment, and it is Ruby Erickson from White Bear Lake. She is here live in studio this morning with our Matt Belanger, who hosted the event late last night. Hi, you guys.
Hey.
Welcome and congrats, Ruby.
Good morning. Yes, big congratulations, Ruby Erickson, this morning. Thank you for being here nice and early with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Listen, for those of you who don't know, Winter Carnival is a beloved celebration of all things winter here in Minnesota. The Klondike Kates, obviously a huge part. They're stars of the folklore of the Winter Carnival, a sisterhood of performers and community volunteers. And listen, I can speak with credibility about the stress of performing on the stage, which Ruby had to do last night. I helped to open the show with Elvis's All Shook Up. And listen, I am honored, folks, to have supported the Kates for years now. And last night was really about choosing the new Kate for this year. And in the end, Ruby Erickson winning that sash. Ruby, how you feeling this morning?
Well, I feel like I've had about 100 cups of coffee, if that helps any. And I want to know, when you opened last night, did you get your leg moving?
I did it. Somebody called me a disco ball with legs, and I thought that was a compliment because of the shiny blazer. Listen, I know you've been singing basically your whole life. You love music. And what do you love about the Winter Carnival's traditions?
The biggest thing I love about the Winter Carnival is that they bring the community together. Not just St. Paul, but surrounding areas, including Wisconsin. Yeah. So it's not just a local event. It encompasses everything, and it brings people out, forget about their troubles, forget about the sadness that's going on in the world, and have some fun and bring some joy and magic back into their lives, even if it's only for 10 days.
Yeah, bring that joy and bring that light. What's going to be your priority as Klondike Kate, the new Kate?
To make sure that everyone is accepted, as far as they're not left sitting at a table all alone with nothing to do. I will make sure that they are a part of the festivities that are going on, no matter the age, from the tiniest to the oldest.
And the last thing is, if somebody's watching, they have no clue what the Winter Carnival is or who this lady is with feathers on this morning, what would you tell them about getting involved?
I would say check out wintercarnival.com and klondikekates.org. There are opportunities available, especially right now for the 10 days of Carnival, to volunteer. I started out volunteering bartending at their tent downtown St. Paul, and it's the most rewarding thing that you could watch the bonfire, help with ice carving,
just
not carve, but,
yeah.
you know,
beautiful.
Get involved, do the puzzle, help with the puzzle contest. They need people for that right now.
Excellent, Ruby. Well, congratulations this morning,
so much,
Ruby
Matt.
Erickson, your new Klondike Kate. Guys, over to you. Appreciate that.
And coming up at 6:30, it's quiet here now. Take a look. It's quiet here now on 34th in Portland. This is where a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent yesterday. Protesters, though, planning to be out in full force again across the metro, demanding justice and transparency from ICE. We'll have the details. That's coming up.
Plus, federal agents also at Roosevelt High School in Minneapolis. What we know with this scene unfolding just hours after yesterday's fatal shooting by immigration agents.
Track the weather anytime at KSTP.com.
Wouldn't it be nice for your family to have more money to play with and in your savings?
A lot of people think that it probably takes a lot more money than it really does.
This week, Rebecca Jarvis with the tips to make it happen. The rich advice for your family money matters is on Good Morning America.
Welcome in 2026 with Home Furniture's New Year's sale. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices, like this queen bedroom suite for $17.99 and this dining set for just $22.49. Start the new year in style during the New Year's sale at Home Furniture.
Minnesota, are you ready to break the winter boredom? It's time for the St. Paul RV Super Show, January 15th through the 18th at the St. Paul River Center. Step inside, feel the excitement, all the newest RV innovations, top sports show vendors, and hands-on RV maintenance seminars. And for the kids, we've got live trout fishing, games, and giveaways. A whole adventure waiting for them. It's the perfect midwinter getaway, and admission is free. So shake off the cold, fire up those travel dreams, and discover the camper you've always wanted. January 15th through the 18th at the St. Paul RV Super Show, St. Paul River Center.
If you have an aging parent, consider calling Synergy Home Care. Synergy Home Care helps you care for your aging parents at home, where they want to be. Whether you need a few hours a week or round-the-clock care, we're here. Call Synergy Home Care today.
Hi,
I'm Dean, from Dean's Home Services. And this is your DIY sister, Danielle. She thinks a video tutorial can help her finish a pipe repair under her sink.
Copper PEX or what?
So remember, DIYers, Dean's does plumbing.
No.
So you don't have to. Call now or visit us at calldeans.com to save a lot of trouble and $100 off any plumbing repair or installation.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey for Builders Remodelers. Yeah, Builders Remodelers wants me to tell you about the New Year Last Chance Early Bird Winter Freeze Sales Event. Yeah, okay. I think the cold's getting to them a little bit, but that means you still get savings on top of last year's prices on any project. For a limited time, save 26% off last year's price on every triple pane, best in market elements window, or any siding, door, or roofing project. Plus, get 36 months, no interest financing. Just go to buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
Easy, no nonsense, non-stop flights to over 90 destinations. Get to going at sunecountry.com.
It's the New Year's mattress sale at Home Sleep Express. Get 10% off sale prices on Thomas Cole Sleep and Prana Sleep. Plus free white glove delivery when you spend $12.99. Celebrate the savings during the New Year's mattress sale. Going on now at Home Sleep Express.
Breaking news here at 6:30. New protest planned this morning after an ICE agent shoots and kills a woman in Minneapolis. This is a local story making news headlines all around the world.
Our team is live here near this scene at 34th and Portland Avenue, where candles and flowers now sit to remember 37-year-old Renee Good. New this morning, what we're learning about her. Plus,
and I'm asking the Department of Justice to prosecute it as domestic terrorism.
I want to tell everybody directly, that is
Local and federal officials clashing over this deadly shooting. Hear their different accounts as we look closely at the video showing what happened. The news starts now.
It is 6:31, and we do want to get you that forecast first. If you're heading out the door this morning, you're probably going to encounter some slick spots because of the temperature where it's at right now.
Temperature's low. There's fog in contact with the ground. Remember, fog is a big cloud sitting on the ground. It's made up of water drops. They may adhere to the ground. Slick spots are expected. There are some on the main roads, but particularly secondaries too. So be aware, and ramps, bridges, and everything else, they may be out there, although maybe not as numerous as we saw the other day. They are still slick in spots, so take it easy. Slow down a little bit. 29 degrees right now in the Twin Cities, 25 in Hinckley. Today, we're going to get up to 30 by 7 o'clock, and then after that, rain showers this afternoon. I'm not expecting any accumulation, but the roads, again, are slick in spots this morning, guys.
Okay, thanks, Ken. I just counted, and according to MnDOT, there are somewhere around 10 different crashes that are happening right around the Twin Cities right now. So, again, if you're headed out this morning, don't be deceived that it's perfect and beautiful out, because it's not. Slick spots here. Here's this Highway 61. This is northbound into State Patrol. Minnesota State Patrol says there was a crash here that happened near Lower Afton Road. As we take a look at the map, you're not going to see a lot of red spots out there, but I just saw 3 or 4 crashes along Highway 10 in Anoka. That seems to be a trouble spot. Also, the main road coming in from Ham Lake also causing problems this morning. So that is a heads up if you're headed out this morning.
Yeah, we'll continue to monitor the roads, but in the meantime, we do want to get to breaking news and the protests that are planned today after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. This is a live look from the scene. This is right now. It happened Wednesday morning near 34th and Portland Avenue, and you can see people are still gathered there at this hour. A memorial is growing there for 37-year-old Renee Good, who we're learning was a mother of 3 and had recently moved to Minnesota.
So far, the protests have remained, for the most part, peaceful. But this morning, we know Minneapolis students won't have classes the rest of the week out of an abundance of caution. And Governor Tim Walz has put the Minnesota National Guard on standby.
We do have live team coverage for you on this Thursday morning. Brandy Powell is breaking down witness video we have. Kelsey Christensen is live at the federal building where a new protest is planned to start in about 30 minutes.
First, though, Bailey Hurley joins us live at the scene where overnight the community came together for a vigil. Bailey.
That's right, Chris and Megan. The demands for answers, accountability, but also the demands for ICE to leave Minnesota are ringing loud and clear from these protesters. These conversations, though, these demands really all coming while at the same time these protesters and demonstrators are keeping Renee Good at the center of it all. She's the 37-year-old woman who is described by her own mother as, quote, one of the kindest people I've ever known. She's a mother of 3, other loved ones describing her as a devout Christian who is not part of any activist movements. Her family also saying that she had recently moved here to Minneapolis from Kansas City.
I think today what happened in here is unacceptable. You must take back ICE. You must take back all of this. What is the terrorism that we're looking at it? This young woman who are really now, we all don't know why she's been killed.
Several demonstrations are planned in and around Minneapolis today, more likely to pop up as the day goes on. Again, a march is going to happen quite soon at the federal building in Fort Snelling. That expected to start again within the next 45 minutes. Another protest planned for this evening on Lake and Chicago. At least 2 news conferences from community, faith, elected leaders, as well as civil rights advocates also planned for this afternoon. Civil rights activists demanding ICE identify the agent involved yesterday, that agent be fired, also demanding all video to be released immediately. Now, this scene here, it's quite quiet compared to what we saw here yesterday afternoon, even last night. Things, only about 15, 20 people here gathered around a campfire. The vigil does continue to grow. That's just down the block from where we're standing right now. If you live in this area, you're already probably familiar that 34th and Portland is closed. It's also closed to 35th and even down to 33rd and each way down Portland about a block or so. So if this is somewhere that you're driving later this morning, later today, just keep that in mind. It's unclear when these roads are going to open back up. On top of that, we have yet to see any police presence around here, both federal or local. We're continuing to see how long that lasts. Of course, though, things are very quiet here at this scene of where this all happened so far. Megan and Chris.
Okay, Bailey, thank you. Kelsey Christensen continues our team coverage live from the Whipple Federal Building near the airport, where there is a protest planned to, and it looks like people are already gathering there right now, Kelsey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That protest is planned for 7 o'clock, but about 40 protesters are here right now just in the parking lot. They just showed up about a few minutes ago. They're going over their organization tactics right now, just meeting each other. I just heard them talk about de-escalation tactics and what that's going to look like here this morning. So we're seeing, again, about 30 to 40 people, I'd say, just showing up within the last few minutes, but we are expecting a lot more people to show up given that this protest is scheduled for 7 o'clock this morning. So still have about 25 minutes for people to start showing up here at the federal building. But that is right. You mentioned 2 very different accounts of what happened yesterday, but there is video of the scene from a few different angles. Governor Tim Walz says he's seen that video and says, quote, "Don't believe this propaganda machine," referring to DHS. He also says President Trump is governing by reality TV and that recklessness costs someone their life. Walz is also saying the state will ensure a full investigation with accountability and justice. Listen.
To Minnesotans, I say this: I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do. We can't give them what they want.
Now, on the other hand, Homeland Secretary Security Kristi Noem is saying the ICE agent acted in self-defense against what she is calling an act of domestic terrorism. She says the driver, quote, weaponized her vehicle and that the agent was injured in that incident. Listen.
Deadly force is perfectly lawful when a threat is faced by a weapon. This officer used his training in this situation, and we'll let the FBI continue the investigation to get it resolved.
You heard it from Noam right there. Investigation is underway by both the FBI and the BCA here in the state. But again, here behind me, this protest just starting to get underway here. It is slated for 7 o'clock at the federal building. The reason it is at the federal building here at Fort Snelling is because that is where ICE primarily operates out of here in the Twin Cities. We'll be here all morning. I'm going to go talk with them and see what their plan is. We'll check back here in about a half hour over on 45 TV. Guys.
Okay, Kelsey, thank you for that. We do now want to take a closer look at those videos showing what led up to the shooting and the moments right after. We have a couple of different angles.
Yeah, so our team coverage continues this morning. Brandy Powell is here to break down these videos, Brandy, that are really at the center of this all.
Yeah, Chris, Megan, good morning. So we want to warn you at home, these images are difficult to see. Just seconds after federal agents pulled up to this SUV here, blocking a single lane of traffic, the encounter turned deadly. Onlookers screamed in horror. The agents ran up to the car that then crashed into parked cars there. We now know the driver, Renee Good, was shot in the head. The key issue over whether the 37-year-old mother made contact with the agent remains an open question. This vantage point that we have isn't quite clear. There are other views. It appears perhaps they were close, but it's not entirely clear. A former FBI agent tells 5 Investigates if there's body camera video, that will likely be key to seeing the officers' perspectives.
The video that I saw, it didn't tell the whole picture. It seemed to be obscured. The legal question is whether the officer's use of force was justified, and it can be to protect their own life or to protect the lives of others. And that is certainly something the investigators will be focused on.
Those 5 Investigates compared state and federal use of force policies. Here's what we found. Both prioritize de-escalation and minimizing harm, but they do allow for deadly force if there's a reasonable belief of death or serious bodily injury. We'll keep tracking what unfolds. Chris, Megan.
Okay, thank you, Brandy. Of course, we are going to continue to monitor the latest on this breaking news story, what comes next in the investigation by the FBI and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. Find the latest updates here while we're on the air and straight to your phone with KSTP mobile app.
Now, this morning, we have reached out once again in an effort to get more information from DHS officials and from school leaders about the federal law enforcement presence at Roosevelt High School in Minneapolis. So this happened after the deadly shooting near Portland and 34th yesterday morning. A student tells us that ICE agents arrived at the school yesterday afternoon, that they blocked part of the road and chased people near the entrance. Some students were told were pepper sprayed during the incident. That student telling us that someone was tackled by a federal agent. School staff say they did try to get the agents off campus and move students away.
Time is 6:42. We have some slick spots out there, folks. You got to be aware of that. The temperature's below freezing. We had refreeze from yesterday's thaw. It was 42 degrees, and this morning we have some fog, also producing some slick spots. So take it easy. Later, though, it will not be an issue. Neither the fog nor the cool temperatures. We'll get up to 36, but rain in the forecast coming up.
Okay, Ken, still had this morning allegations of fraud in Minnesota take center stage here in Washington as state Republican lawmakers testify there. You're looking there live. What they claim Governor Tim Walz knew and what could happen if he doesn't show up to a fraud hearing next month.
Plus, the U.S. House gears up for a crucial vote today on extending Affordable Care Act subsidies, what this means for your health care premiums.
Get your news anytime. Watch 5 on YouTube.
Start the year strong with best-in-class equipment at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime.
You got this.
Deal ends January 9th.
The Minnesota Sportsman Show is back January 16th through the 18th at Canterbury Park in Shakopee, with more resorts and lodges on display than any other show in town. Plan your vacation right at the show. Rods, reels, and the latest in fishing electronics. Fishing seminars by Ted Takasaki and Joe Henry. The Sportsman Show, January 16th through the 18th at Canterbury Park, with free parking and admission specials. Details at mnresortshow.com. A Sonenko production.
TWS Remodeling has affordable solutions for your bathroom, kitchen, windows, doors, and more. Get started today with no down payment, no interest, and no monthly payments for 12 months. Plus 20% off your entire project. Home improvements are easier with TWS.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions, home to possibility, and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Hi, Dan Stoltz here with Blaze Credit Union. Let's blaze new trails together. I'm going to meet up with Greta Myers, who's a blazer in speed skating. So you go fast, right? How fast do you go?
I'm blazing. When I was young, it was on backyard rinks and ponds. And then I eventually started blazing my way out on the track outdoors. I've been doing that since, all around the world.
Way to go, Greta! What do you think of Blaze?
I love it. It's fitting. Minnesotans are always blazing new ways.
Go Blaze!
Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben will fight to get you a fair settlement.
They really were on top of everything. They left nothing to chance. I always felt that they were pushing for me, advocating for me.
They gave me such a great peace of mind. I knew that I could count on them.
They're trustworthy, and they always have your best interests in mind.
I would recommend Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben to anybody who's been in an accident.
It was fantastic.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben for a free consultation.
Start the year strong with best-in-class equipment at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime.
You got this.
Deal ends January 9th.
Submit your news tips right now at kstp.com.
Good morning. We're back. 6:45 is the time. We want to take you live to the nation's capital this morning, where fraud in Minnesota took center stage yesterday. 3 state Republican lawmakers testified before the House Oversight Committee.
So they say that Governor Tim Walz was aware of the fraud for years, but allowed it to continue.
Tim Walz and his administration have willfully turned a blind eye to crime in the face of countless whistleblower and auditor reports, as well as stories by local investigative journalists.
Well-documented oversight failures have led to a lack of program integrity. As I said on Monday, good riddance to Governor Walz.
The Democrats on the House Oversight panel did not ask many questions at all, specifically about Minnesota fraud. Instead, they repeatedly pointed out fraudsters they say President Donald Trump has pardoned.
He wants to pardon and protect more rich crooks and fraudsters who have robbed over $1 billion from innocent people.
After the hearing, the chairman said Governor Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison do not agree to appear at another hearing next month, that he will issue subpoenas.
Our chief political reporter Tom Hauser was in D.C. for all of this yesterday. You can see his coverage of the hearing right now on the KSTP app. You can also find all of our What the Fraud coverage anytime on our YouTube page as we continue to uncover fraud in Minnesota. Happening today, the U.S. House is set to vote on a 3-year extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Those expired at the end of 2025.
So 9 House Republicans broke ranks and voted with the Democrats last night to advance the bill, saying it will lower premiums and keep that in place through 2029. House Speaker Mike Johnson says a final vote on that bill expected tonight. President Trump has said he opposes extending the subsidies. An estimated 24 million Americans get them. Right now, the window to select and change plans is open until January 15th. And with a vote now expected, depending on what happens, Minnesotans may get a chance to adjust their coverage.
All right, 6:47. We need to talk weather this morning. A little bit of fog out there, which is probably causing some issues on the roads. A lot of accidents for this time of the morning.
Yeah, and more so than even when we had the freezing rain the other day. So it's tricky today because you're not expecting it. But I'm telling you, when we are telling you, like Megan just did, there are slick spots due to the fog, yes, and also the refreeze from the thaw we had yesterday. Got to 42. And boy, it was nice to see the sun. The downside of that, of course, it left wet roads, which are now a little icy in spots. Not much fog in the Minneapolis area or St. Paul. There's patchy fog, but here's a look downtown Minneapolis. the visibility is good. 10 miles is excellent. 7 miles means there's something happening. It's light fog and haze in the Twin Cities. But see this white spray painted on area here? This is all visibility, a mile or less. In some areas to the north and east, it's down to 0.25 and 0.5. That's a quarter to a half a mile. That's really dense fog. And in those spots, in particular western Wisconsin, I am getting reports of slick roads there. But in the metro too, ramps, bridges, even just regular roads may have slick spots. So take it easy this morning. Go a little slower than normal. Owatonna, on the other hand, is 36 degrees. It'll get up quickly above freezing later this morning. But for the kids and you out the door this morning, isolated slick roads, especially maybe your sidewalk and driveway again this morning, and secondary roads, but even on the primaries, slick spots. 28, mild and cloudy with rain showers on the way home. It'll be in the mid-30s. I am not expecting anything major this afternoon, although this evening there may be a mix with some snow before it comes to an end at around 9 o'clock. I'm not anticipating icy roads for the evening drive, just wet roads. Those are our two next weather makers. This afternoon and tomorrow night and Saturday morning, there will be some light snow. It still looks like the storm's a miss with very light accumulations around here. Here's today's area again. Some pink in there indicating a mix of some snowflakes in with the rain. It's going to be 90% rain and only licks with snow as it ends later this evening. The sun's back tomorrow. 32, a little icy in the morning in spots again. Saturday, light snow. Much less than an inch, it looks like right now. We may not even see that much across southeast Minnesota. Either way, it's not a big concern right now. Sunday looks breezy and cool, warmer again next week, Megan.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Hey, folks, I want to let you know that traffic is pretty slow going this morning. We want to show you, this is Highway 10 eastbound, a crash here in Coon Rapids. State Patrol saying this happened between Hanson Boulevard and Creek Meadow Drive. Also, watch out for delays in that area. You can see it is very slow going. Another incident just north of that on Highway 10 between Round Lake and 7th Avenue. Getting reports of some ice on the roadway there. Also, as we go to the East Metro 94, there's an accident near Maplewood. A couple of accidents we're monitoring on Highway 52, Inver Grove Heights area. There's one in the heart of Minneapolis, and then again out in the Chaska-Carver area. So a lot going on out there. You're starting to see these slowdowns as we look at the map. Getting reporting again of not just visibility issues with the fog, but some icing on the road. So keep that in mind as you head out this morning.
We're tracking your tax dollars this morning. The Child Care Center, at the center of a viral video calling the state's child care assistance program into question, is now closed again. The questions over potential fraud, what we know about this sudden closing, up next.
Track local news anytime at KSTP.com.
Every day, 5 Eyewitness News holds our leaders accountable.
Is it fair for an unelected official to be able to have so much power?
Uncovering questionable spending.
Dan, you know I can't be the only one asking this. What does that have to do with the Blue Line extension?
Being relentless on issues that affect our children.
So the parents can expect these issues to continue for the foreseeable future.
You're trusting us to hold our leaders accountable. Watch and see the difference only on 5 Eyewitness News.
Hi, I'm Dean, from Dean's Home Services. And this is your DIY sister, Danielle. She thinks a video tutorial can help her finish a pipe repair under her sink. Call now to save a lot of trouble and $100 off any plumbing repair or installation.
The Twin Cities Auto Show is back, January 3rd through 11th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Thinking about a new car, truck, SUV, or EV? Why run all over town when everything's in one place? Hundreds of vehicles all under one roof. And the best part? It's not a selling floor, just you and all the latest models to explore. Buy your tickets now at TwinCitiesAutoShow.com. And remember,
gotta go to the auto show. It's Hy-Vee's one-day sale, Friday, January 9th. Hy-Vee eggs, just 99 cents. Pork chops, 77 cents. Russet potatoes, just $1.48. Campbell's Chunky Soup, just $1.48 each when you buy 3. Hy-Vee macaroni and cheese, 39 cents. Plus, you'll find even more great deals across the store. Save in-store and online. One day only, Friday, January 9th, only at Hy-Vee.
At Enrichment Skin Solutions, we offer hope for skin with sun damage, redness, broken capillaries, and stubborn brown patches.
When I looked in the mirror, all I saw was the brown spots on my face. My biggest fear was wasting time and money on something that wouldn't work. Now my skin is clear and I feel more confident.
Your skin deserves the best. Schedule your complimentary 3D face scan today and get started on a customized skincare treatment.
If you have a crack like this, well, you have a problem. Today I'm learning how a cracked wall might mean your foundation is sinking.
It always points towards the area where it's sinking. For example, this corner here, we're down almost a full inch of drop.
Right, so that's going down and that's causing the crack.
Correct. And then this door, they don't even use that door anymore. It cannot open.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Hi, I'm Dean. You know, from Dean's Home Services. And this is your budget-loving brother, Brian. Brian doesn't really have the official training to fix your furnace or the insurance. Call now and get a furnace safety check for only $29.
We're back here, and this morning we're following up on a Minneapolis daycare at the center of questions about fraud in Minnesota's Child Care Assistance Program. 5 investigates returned to the Quality Learning Center near downtown looking for answers. State records reveal that the daycare formally closed operations yesterday, but just last week, the owners insisted they were open for business.
Of course, Megan, you know, Quality Learning Center, one of the places featured in a viral video online claiming to expose empty daycares, collecting millions of taxpayer dollars. The bizarre series of events raises even more red flags, according to one state lawmaker who spoke with our investigative reporter, Eric Rasmussen.
What do you make of the fact that right after that big scene last week that they're closed again?
Well, to me, that's, where there's smoke, there's fire. Perhaps they're trying to avoid something.
So far, the owners of Quality Learning Center have not responded to any of our calls or emails seeking comment. Department of Children, Youth, and Families says the owners requested closure of their daycare license and cannot reopen unless they reapply. I look outside. Minnesota's Weather Authority tracking some patchy fog and some slick spots on the roads this morning as you head out the door. Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow timing out when this could clear up next.
And we are continuing to track the fallout after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. This is a live look near the scene. This is 34th and Portland Avenue, where people have been gathered all night. There's a protest planned to start in just a few minutes, the very latest when we come back.
113, gonna need all hands.
911 Nashville, TV's #1 new show is back.
The city's been hacked.
With an emergency that will touch every corner of Nashville.
Every light in the city went green.
Returns tonight on ABC.
If you have a crack like this, well, you have a problem. Today I'm learning how a cracked wall might mean your foundation is sinking.
It always points towards the area where it's sinking. For example, this corner here, we're down almost a full inch of drop.
Right, so that's going down and that's causing the crack.
Correct. And then this door, they don't even use that door anymore. It cannot open.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. At A1 Garage Door Service, our monthly service plan will keep your garage door running smoothly so you never have to deal with a broken garage door. It's simple, it's smart, and it saves you time and costly repairs. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1 from day one.
From MSP to Unbothered. Take non-stop flights that are unusually direct. Get to going at suncountry.com.
Is your garage a mess, office out of control, mudroom more like a dud room? As a busy mom of 2 teens, I get it. Kelly here from Twin Cities Live. Call my friends at Closet Factory. They'll help you turn your cluttered chaos into organized control. Their designers work with you to make a space that's customized to your needs, taste, and your budget. Let the dream team at Closet Factory make your vision a reality. Closet Factory, this is what organized feels like.
Call us today for a free consultation.
Hey, John, a little birdie told me that a small leak can waste like hundreds of gallons of water a year.
Yeah, it can.
Even a small leak adds up, and it shows in your water bill.
That much, though? Really?
Yeah, most people are surprised. Fixing it early prevents a bigger problem later.
All right, I'll let that little birdie know. I love this guy.
Don't let a drip turn into a disaster. Save $99 off your plumbing repairs. Schedule now.
I love those guys.
The news is always on. Find us on YouTube.
Breaking news around this morning, protesters are gathering right now. A protest planned today after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. This is the Whipple Federal Building near the airport, where, again, people are gathering for a protest set to start any minute now.
Also, looking live from the scene near 34th and Portland Avenue, where candles and flowers now sit to remember 37-year-old Renee Good, the mother of 3, described by her mom to a local reporter as, quote, one of the kindest people I've ever known. All right, we want to take you quickly outside and show you the roads. I think we are encountering some icing out there this morning. There's some fog out there, and I think it's sticking to the roads and creating some slick spots out there, because this is Highway 10 at Hanson Boulevard. One of about a dozen accidents across the metro right now, and they're widespread. It's not just one area. We're seeing it up north on Highway 10. We're seeing it Highway 52 in the southeast metro. Also an issue in Chaska that we've been monitoring, and in the Twin Cities. So as you look at the map, you'll see that there are some slow spots this morning. Keep in mind, ice could be out there.
Yeah, and because the temperature is only 29, that will continue to be an issue for about the next hour and a half to 2 hours. Eventually 36, 35 with some rain showers. Close call this weekend, but a miss with a snowstorm.
Thanks for watching 5 Eyewitness News.
Continued coverage over on 40.
Good morning, America. A city on edge after an ICE agent killed a woman. The food pyramid flip, plus Leo, Timothy, Ariana, and more on the road to the Oscars. Overnight, tensions running high in Minneapolis after this incident captured